to our next series, my friend. It's Earthroot Gaming going up against PinkRockstar, not Rockstars, but Rockstar, not plural, unfortunately. But it obviously should be a pretty interesting match. I know you're actually tweeting out on Twitter. You're actually familiar with one of the players actually going to be coming up in this next match.
All right, yes. So
tell me about it.
I didn't even know that this was a thing, right? Like, I didn't know Lurid was on PinkRockstar. That is not why I called him out earlier. I just thought it was a cool name. But little bit of a background. So I got my casting start in Advanced Warfare. Lurid, as I was a caster doing a lot of online tournaments and whatnot, he was constantly just winning over and over again. This guy was an absolute monster. A pleasure to cast over. I've not casted over him in so long. So I'm just really excited to see him back on the sticks.
Absolutely, and of course, now is his opportunity to do it. Of course, we do talk about the other squad as well. Earthroot. Earthroot Gaming is obviously a very, very well-known squad when it comes into the Quebec scene for Canada. Very well-known organization. It should be obviously a very interesting match. Of course, we're revisiting the same maps that we saw in the last series. Of course, we are in Winners Round 2. So we're seeing Hardpoint Breakout, Search and Destroy on Crusher, Uplink on Throwback, Hardpoint on Scorch, and if it comes down to map number 5, we'll be seeing S&D on Throwback Paradox. It's time to hop into this one. I'm personally looking through the eyes of player number 6, a.k.a. UMG Alpha, which is Pistols.
Let's see what he's able to do. Takes the long route around. Looks like they're going to opt to put a lot of pressure over to make sure they take control of loading. And for Earthroot, the early strategy ends up paying off. Prince almost turns on one and picks that one up, but will not be able to do it. It's going to leave it up to Remarks, who's left in the lower area of the visitor center, but player after player going down for Earthroot so far. PinkRockstar have opened up the map. Now that they're able to pick up this time on the central rooftop, they need to prioritize moving forward, and it looks like that's what they're going to do, carry this forward momentum over into the second hardpoint.
And I have no idea how Lurid is currently sitting at 6-1, but he's been able to make it happen. His teams are struggling for kills, but regardless, he's getting the points on the board for his roster and obviously getting the kills by himself. So, of course, as the remaining seconds do expire when it comes down to central rooftop, we have talked about this very, very important hill, and it looks like it's going to be, or actually is going to be Earthroot already set up for that rotation.
Let's take a look. Lurid's going to be able to sneak into this top laundry area. Another one on the dirt street. Weak and finally ends up going down 6-2. Chad looks like going to be the next one to try and engage. That's a two-man push. End up going for nothing. Just going to leave one left on the back line. Ends up falling as well. So PinkRockstar staggered spawns. Looks like they're having a really hard time trying to break this hard point, which is what you normally expect. Anytime a team has control of the cell block like this, they have one more crack at it. I'm on board with Chad, able to open up a little bit of a door mid-street. Looks like slides in, contest coming through. Look at that. Remarks just comes through and picks up 2 in a row.
We've been seeing obviously some back and forth gameplay, but Earthroot has done a great job at locking down a cell block. But actually, they're going to leave that one open. So Perez decides to actually go and rotate here through middle. It kind of leaves that hard point open, and Lurid's like, fine, I'm going to go and hop in and get some more of these free. Second's going to be getting these scrap points when it comes in a cell block. Rotation now going to be coming in toward the graveyard. Looks like players already going to be here. Some shots being exchanged from the Earthroot side. Actually, a little bit of shots in the back there, but for Heiza, but of course, able to lock this one down for the time being. So Earthroot has officially taken back the lead. So back and forth gameplay up to this point. It seems that the teams who have made that early rotation definitely being granted a lot of the time. And if you are Earthroot, you're in a pretty good spot, especially where Heiz is at right now. But he'll end up dropping now toward the back. It's going to be up to Remark. He's got this one down. Players coming from that wall run as it looks like he'll end up dropping. So PinkRockstar to the successful retake, at least for the time. But no, Hawk is going to die as well. So a beautiful trade coming in from Earthroot.
Look at that. They just end up having this stonewall defense. It's something we normally talk about in uplink, coming through in the hard point as well. PinkRockstar, you think you have to break? No way. Earthroot standing tall inside of the hard point. And now look, they're allocating resources over towards commissary. Shots already able to pick up one on the wall run. That just leaves one more. That's Remarks. Try to get things done in mid. Will not be able to do it. So Bristol comes through, has his own crack at it, can't get it done. Shots is now the lone man in commissary. A 1v1 here versus Chad. Duck, dive, dip, all the way around. Can he pick up the kill? There you go. 75 off of the bombardment.
Yeah, nice plays coming in right now from Shots. He's currently, like I said, sitting at 10 and 4 on a 6-3. Wants to, of course, make it a 7. Wants the bombardment. Can he get it? Unfortunately, no. He is going to drop. So PinkRockstar able to shut them down for the time. But I want to obviously take a look at the score differential right now. Of course, Earthroot currently up 97 to 58. But you also take a look at that right scorecard. There you can obviously see kind of consistent plays when it comes into Earthroot. 10 and 5. Of course, you have certain players kind of doing better than others when it comes down to it. But PinkRockstar, you have certain players kind of going off 2 and 9 right now for Hawk. Chad actually sitting at 4 and 9 as well. Pretty consistent play when it comes into Earthroot, especially when it comes down to the time as well. And you can kind of see when it comes into consistency, that's what can win you the game, and that's what PinkRockstar is lacking right now, I think.
Right now, I feel like Earthroot, when they're able to set up at a hard point, it is really tough to sort of break in. PinkRockstar seems to be the team that can get that break, but when they need to hold on to a hard point and when they need to win rotation battles, they can just out front win them. I'm just worried about them being able to hold on to a hard point for an extended period of time. I mean, look at the setup right now from Earthroot. PinkRockstar looks like they're all going to engage from the same direction, which is normally kind of what you see on the central rooftop. You see a flank come in here and there. It looks like now they're going to be set up for a pinch. The contest, though, going to try and get it done early on. Heiza cleans up one, tries to find the second, would not be able to come away with both.
And Lurid actually ended up getting a very interesting spot. Had he actually been able to wait for his teammates, they could have had a potential pinch ready to go, and it looks like they're going to continue to get that spawn. So in some cases, a blessing in disguise. Of course, while they're not getting the remaining time into central rooftop, they've actually been granted those rotations next over inside a turbine, which is, of course, a very, very important hill. So it looks like actually, for a moment, 7 players were down in the entire lobby of 8. As, of course, the remaining time going to go over toward the side of PinkRockstar. Hawk be waiting here inside of the hard point. Of course, doesn't have the MV4 in hand. Not the best weapon when it comes down to these close quarter engagements, but of course he is going to be locking some of those seconds. Lurid being the first line of defense. Players trying to come from the back, able to at least find one. Doesn't have the FTL jump, decides to rock that one to stay alive, and a good play at that, as they're going to continue to lock down time when it comes into cell block. And look at these Earthroot Gaming players right now making their way through Garage. We'll see if this pinch can actually work out for them. The shots continue to go down. Chad currently residing inside of the hard point, waiting for his teammates to kind of start to come through, but here comes the enemy engagements. Nice kills there coming in from Heiza and shots, as they're going to make those happen. Hawk ends up dying. So just like that, Earthroot Gaming might have had a successful pinch, but no, Heiza drops. Priz coming from the back is able to respond with that one, so constant gunfights going down, but Earthroot Gaming not giving PinkRockstar a whole lot of time to breathe.
Oh, you can't let Bristol pick up that kill, sliding out of the mid door and picking up the kill on Chad. That entire play for Earthroot started with the kill all the way on the back line, taking out Lurid, who took out 3 of the 4 players. So as soon as he's taken care of, you have players coming off the respawn. They're going to prioritize mid door and prioritize the wall run. Sets it up, perfect pinch comes through, the break is in. But now, Earthroot need to make sure they don't get too ahead of themselves here inside of the graveyard. Shots is doing a really good job picking his engagements, playing this back, right. Oh, will not be able to keep it going. 3 down in favor of PinkRockstar. They're going to take control of Graveyard.
Yeah, I've seen some good moments actually from the side of Earthroot Gaming, despite, of course, rotation in some cases being 1 for the side of PinkRockstar at the moment. But there's actually a play where I believe it was Chad was making his way through middle map, and it's actually Remark kind of hanging toward the back, ends up picking him off, and it could have been a nice early pinch that could have guaranteed PinkRockstars a lot of time as well as the spawns for the next hill. So major props as Remark continuing to go on a spree, finds 2 when it comes down to Cave, and they want a little bit more. They're actually going to get them to spawn out on the opposite side. So Earthroot Gaming winning in a number of different ways, not just the slaying battle, but the rotation one as well. That's going to now be PinkRockstar having to kind of make their way away from that last hard point and having to get on this rotation when it comes into commissary. So major props to Earthroot as they've now locked down the scrap points, and they've also locked down this rotation as well as the spawns.
Yeah, the biggest thing with there was blocking the spawns and making sure PinkRockstar were not able to out-rotate them over towards commissary. Lurid is the only one up for the map. Now finally 3 teammates spawning in. He needs to slow down this push. Gets caught sprinting straight into showers. Now Hawk's going to be the next in line. They're allocating so many resources over towards Heiza, who's just being a pain in the backside of PinkRockstar right now. They can't get anything going mid. This is what I was saying. Earthroot, when they are set up in a hard point, when you give them a money hill to work with, this is where they hurt you. And they've hurt PinkRockstar like this time and time again in this game 1. Look at shots all the way. Namesake lighting it up in the kill feed. Puts a little bit more damage on one more. And look at it's doing good. All they have to do was keep them at bay. They do that perfectly for almost the entire hard point. And Earthroot come through. 250 to 112 is your final.
My goodness, Earthroot, man. They have come to play despite a nice actually beginning from that first hard point from PinkRockstars. Once they took that lead when it came down to that second hard point over in cell block, they did not look back. Final scorecard. I want to take a look at that one really quickly. We talked about shots, man. 25 and 11, a minute and 15 seconds inside of the hill. Definitely did a lot for a squad. Mark as well, 21 and 14, a minute and 34. You obviously had a number of different guys who performed to their ability, but in the end, it was Earthroot who definitely showed up to play in this first respawn. Welcome back, everyone, to UMG Sudbury. Of course, myself, Lano, in studio. I've got Paradox with me, actually at home right now, currently in the midst of our next series currently going on between PinkRockstar and Earthroot Gaming. We ended up seeing a pretty dominant performance from the side of Earthroot Gaming, who took that last hard point on Breakout at approximately 250 to 112. In the end, we ended up seeing a pretty good start from the side of PinkRockstar. Some players in particular that were kind of going off was Lurid, who actually, what you were actually talking about, Paradox, a guy who you've casted over numerous times, and obviously had a pretty strong performance. But like I said, it's a team game. It's all about consistency. That's exactly what Earthroot presented to us in that first match. Yeah, now you're going to need that teamwork here on Crusher. As we said in the first series of the day, this is a map notorious for its retakes, right? So when you look at sort of your game plan going into this, if you're going around the B site, normally, I mean, if you're defending, you're waiting for that four-man push, and it sort of happens on both sides of the coin, right? And even if you sort of rotate all the way through, one team's going to be set up around one site almost every time. Of course, some teams get a little far from each other, right? Maybe not the most comfortable thing to see, but you can make things work. Remember in the last series, we saw arguably what was our first upset of the entire event with that Search and Destroy going 6-3 over to the boys of Cryptic Void. Indeed. So obviously, yeah, this next map does present itself. Going to be looking through the eyes of Earthroot as they will be on the defensive side to start things off. Shot was obviously a major guy to be looking out for. It looks like he's going to be showing us that crossbow off the start, but it looks like one player actually finding that first blood here from the side of PinkRockstars. That's going to be Bed. Nice early shots coming in from him, taking down Remark for, like I said, for that first blood. And when you are on the offensive, it's obviously big to have that man count advantage in your favor. It looks like another kill going to be going down as well. So a 2v4 retake going to be needed, but here come the shots, and just like that, Shots, the man who I was talking about at the beginning of this game, with that sniper rifle in hand, had a pretty big respawn, but unfortunately for him, before I can even utter the words, he's going to drop before he can even get that defusal off. Just like that, it's going to be PinkRockstar who walks away with the first round. That round, I'm looking at it. Some points, really good plays from PinkRockstars. Other points, it just seems to me that Earthroot gave up that round, right? They just sort of shoehorned themselves, splitting up across the map, making sure PinkRockstars had these easy one-on-one engagements. They were sitting in corners, going on flanks, waiting for players to push through, knew that they were going to get antsy. That's not the way you want to play this so far. If you are Earthroot, it looks like they're going to try and get aggressive, but look at that. Another first blood goes over. Now the man advantage stays on the side of PinkRockstar. Shots going to be the last one up, a 1v3 as he's vacated the A site. Yeah, 1v4 last round, 1v3 this round, and both of those results going to be a -1 as he's not obviously able to walk away with that gunfight. Kind of quick back-to-back rounds there for the pink side of PinkRockstar. Make that rush over into A. So some good moments, but in the end, the E-Rads reign true, as well as the K-Bar there from Bed, as he's obviously able to walk away with that gunfight and closes that round out. Question for Earthroot, how can they finally get on the board? Remark, the only guy to actually have a kill so far in this game. I'm curious to see if Shots continues to have that sniper rifle. Looks like he's going to swap over to that NV4. It looks like we might actually be seeing a B hit for the first time in this Search and Destroy. I believe we ended up seeing an NV4 shot through middle there from Shot to kind of call that one out. So while this PinkRockstar are making this rush, I believe it is going to be Earthroot who is ready for this one. This a little bit, it looks like it was a play for Chad early on, who might be able to sneak in and pick up something. Meanwhile, Lurid on the back line was able to pick up the first one. Bed's going to be able to push through, picks up another, and once again, we have a 1v4 situation. Shots is going to be all the way in the back. I believe Lurid has spotted him, going to go chase him down the slide, and the emote to close that one out. That's 3 unanswered. My goodness, PinkRockstar are just absolutely destroying right now. Granted, they have an interesting team name, but Search and Destroy play is absolutely stellar. The nice little salute there at the end, like you mentioned there, Paradox there from Lurid, as his squad is absolutely destroying right now. 4-0 there for Lurid, 5-0 right now for Bed as well, 9-0 combined. Basic little arithmetic there. But either way, though, still, they are just completely destroying the side of Earthroot Gaming. I mean, we started this match, I want to say like a minute ago, and it's already 3 rounds right now in favor of PinkRockstar. I mean, Earthroot have got to be tilted at the moment. We'll see if they can obviously respond when it comes to this next offensive hit. Now, look at this. Lurid's going to play passive on the opposite side of the B site. All teammates are here.
Just a matter of when is Earthroot going to go for the push. Lure ends up pushing through. Doesn't pick up one. Ends up getting caught in the crosshairs of another. That's a Mark's already picking up two. Now Bed's going to be the last one up. Ends up falling. And finally, you get your first round on the board for Earthroot.
That was a pretty basic hit for the side of Earthroot. Of course, they were kind of receiving early shots when that bomb was going down, but in the end, that's just kind of what it comes down to. And I'm curious to see when it comes down to future rounds of Earthroot Gaming can obviously realize what kind of works out for them. That B-side hit, pretty basic. They kind of forced their way forward, and PinkRockstar wasn't really able to respond too well. Seems that they have kind of mastered those E-Rads, so I'm curious to see when it comes into future rounds if we see PinkRockstar kind of favor that A site and see Earthroot kind of favor the B. But it seems that at the start of this round, no player from PinkRockstar on the offensive side has picked up that bomb just yet. It looks like it's going to be Bed to kind of back up and grab that one. So I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but due to the nice start actually from Bed, 7-1. He does have a few streaks to work with. I'm looking at the bombardment right now.
Look at this, though. They've completely baited out Earthroot. A lot of that pressure down mid from Hawk with the sniper rifle opens a little bit of a route for Bed to go through the A site. Sort of a bit of a fake plant without wrapping the bomb all the way around, just leaving it at spawn to start to get the questions from Earthroot. It's like, where in the world are these players at? Now we're going to have to see if Earthroot can go for the retake in a 4v3 situation.
Here it comes. We'll see how this obviously worked out from MV4 shots. Nice shots there coming in from a few players from the side of Earthroot. 2 versus 2. Not a whole lot of time left to work with on the side, and just like that, they're going to find all 4 of them. Shot, Remark coming in for the final 2 kills as they're able to clutch out that 2 versus 2 engagement. And it looks like Shot going to give that one over toward Remark for the defuse. That was obviously a pretty smart play in some cases. Like we said, we talked about PinkRockstar with those E-Rads, doing a great job at making those A hits in the side of Earthroot. When it comes into that slower K-bar MV4 play, it's kind of being favored them. So I'm curious when it comes to this next offensive round, does the side of Earthroot decide to make this B hit again?
And for Earthroot, it's really good that you set up and give that diffuse over towards Remarks, because now he's sitting, what, 150 off of having streaks. You have full streaks on the other side in the hands of Bed, so he is in a position to do a lot of damage here, but looks like we're going to see a standard B push coming out of Earthroot so far. Nate just going to check. Of course, we get to see all the outlines and everything, but it looks like these Trinity Rockets are going to come in early. All these players called out now, and you start to see the arrows of the PinkRockstar players respond.
Indeed, of course, Bed calling that one in. Player number 1, Lured, actually in a pretty good spot. Player just toward his right. Can he check the right angle? Unfortunately for him, he will drop Heiza. Finding the first blood of this round, number 6. Bomb is down, and we'll see how the retake can obviously work out. Shots being exchanged yet again. Hawk starting to find some shots from the side. Chan actually ends up taking one cleared off. That's going to be Heiza. Hawk rushes in by himself, and now Ben is now left to try and find these last 3 kills. And before I can even utter the words, he will drop as well, falling to his depths. That's now going to be 3 rounds spotted now for the side of Earthroot. So finally getting some momentum in their favor. This B-side has obviously treated them very well so far in this game.
Yeah, and that's one situation I feel like if you're Bed, if you get 1, then this round gets a little bit more interesting. You're in a 2v1, you have reactive armor, both of those players are coming towards you. That's when you start to bring up some of those questions as what you want to invest into some of these rounds and moving forward. But yeah, for right now, PinkRockstar look like it's going to be a 2-man hit over towards the A site. Earthroot going to opt to 3-stack B, but it looks like 1 ends up peeking mid. That's Heiza getting some very key information, spotting 2, going over to you.
Player number 8, Remark, in the back. Besides that, not a whole lot of information gained, so with that, Remark going to call out that one to his teammates. That fletch it. Not going to gain any information as of yet. Earthroot getting very, very close to deleting some of these PinkRockstar players, but it looks like they're going to maybe try to get this bomb down soon. But here comes the reactive armor and used there from Bed as he's going to find 2 of those kills. Now going to be left up to a 2 versus 3. Priz from behind, potentially on the edge of just one player around in the corner. Actually, he sees his teammate drop. Coming from you, able to at least find 1. So nice play right now coming in from Pistols. Decides to go back up. Thankfully, he does have the MV4 in hand, but the bomb is going to go down here from Hawk, it looks like. Or maybe not.
Oh, almost had 1. Like, gets a lot of damage into 1, especially with that MV4. I was going to say he needs to pick and choose these engagements, right? You don't want to just rush in, especially with an AR against a K-bar in this situation, or even possibly a submachine gun if you don't know what the player is rocking. But gets damage almost enough for 1, but PinkRockstar are going to hold on to this lead. It's going to be 4-3. Now, moving into this round, I mean, Halo progress so far. We saw reactive armor invested into 1. You have Remarks with a Trinity rocket. as far as some more utility is concerned, and Lurid does have that FTL jump. So as all these players converge on the B site, it's going to be a game of questions as we move forward into this game.
It will. Lurid finding that first blood, rocks the FTL jump. Where's this player exactly at? But thankfully his teammate is there to respond, so Earthroot Gaming already down by one player, but they're quickly to respond with that one. Remark finding Hawk. Shots being exchanged from afar as Heiza finds one as well. Now Chad left all by himself, and he can't do much either. So just when we start to think that the momentum had been ended there from the start of PinkRockstar, Earthroot is here to respond yet again. Final 2 kills. Heiza finds one, and the nice team shots coming in as he'll find the second one on Chad. So nice kills coming in there from the side of Earthroot, as this one is now leveled up at 4 apiece. Not to be caster biased, but Paradox, I think we might potentially have a round 11 on our hands. Who knows?
I mean, I would love to see it, and this is what you want to see if you're a fan of Earthroot right now. Sort of the way they played that round, everyone knew what the idea was. Play around the street, get the information, get the kills, and then swarm. Sort of textbook your strategy on Crusher if you dial it down to the basic of basics. But right now, it looks like PinkRockstar are going to go for a fake rotation over towards B and move this one back over towards the A site. I feel like arguably you say the A site is a little bit better for the style of play this team likes to go for. Lurid already spotting one. That's a mark that has to back up.
I like this play from PinkRockstar, like you said, kind of revealing their overall preference when it comes into science, kind of fakes the B and gets the delayed hit on A, kind of catching the side of Earthroot Gaming off guard. Bet as well. Keep in mind, he does have that bombardment. If they can win this round, having that one and the round number 10 would be huge for his squad. That would be a massive advantage for them, but here come the shots, starting already to be exchanged. Hawk finds one off the wall run, but he's pretty weak. Is the player going to challenge? Yes, he will. Remark is there. He'll quickly drop. Now it's a 1 versus 1. A pistol versus Lurid. Looks like Lurid might actually spotted him jumping down, and the shots being exchanged. Not a whole lot of time left to work with, only 14 seconds left on that bomb, and Lurid just making sure that he can maybe escape, and this should be a round in favor of PinkRockstar. Pistol's not going to have a whole lot of time left to work with. Can he find the shot? But it's not going to matter. The kill going in PinkRockstar's favor, the salute, and now they're going to be up 5 rounds to 4 with a bombardment, I believe, there from Bet as well.
Great play there from Lurid. Just gets out of dodge, knows the situation at hand. I feel like I can argue if Crystal doesn't end up dropping to the lower portion of the map, he might actually win that 1v1 against Lurid. K-Bar versus an Erad, both players doing really well, but something in me felt like that one was going to go the other way. PinkRockstar come through, pull that one out. Now for this round, you have reactive armor, you have a bomb, and you have a full hit over towards B, but what you do not have is a bombardment. It looks like they're going to receive a bit of a friendly welcome now.
They will, of course, trying to get some shelter, but unfortunately there from Heiza, he will be found for that first blood, so PinkRockstar automatically with a little bit of an advantage in their hand. Pistols able to grab that bomb for now. Shots just to his side. Here come the exchanging ones. Actually, nice MV4 shot. Can he escape with his life is the question. Another player in front of him finds that one as well. Now it's going to be a 1-on-1. How has he been able to stay alive for this long? MV4 at close. Pistols is a master with it. We'll see if he can do more damage with this MV4. This would be absolutely huge for his team if they can force a round 11, especially with a bombardment at the beginning. Spots a player. There it is. The 1 versus 3. The MV4 at close range, as we are going to see a round 11 despite the bombardment usage at the beginning of this round, Paradox.
Crystal, how in the world? See, the thing is, you talk about 1v3s. The first kill was a sliding hip fire, somehow is able to stay alive, gets around the rock, picks up the second, and then you're just able to get a free kill over on Bed to close the round, forces the round 11. Now, though, for PinkRockstar, they're going to have the utility, but look at this. Hawk is the only one around the A site. You have arguably Lurid is here around this U area to help him out. You've already lost one.
Wow.
This is going to be a bit scary.
I think what they were trying to do is maybe try to bait out that bomb carrier to get a free side hit, but now, just like that, they're down by 2 players. This is not going to be easy if you start on the side of PinkRockstars, but for some reason, Remark meleeing in the air. That's going to be a free kill awarded toward Hawk, and looks like Chad finding one as well. This one is now at a 2-on-2. Very, very intense right now. Shot and Pistol saying hello to one another, as it looks like Chad is going to drop. Now all left up to Hawk, a 1 versus 2. Shot actually rocking the active camel. There he is right next to me. Beautiful play there coming in from the side of Earthroot as they are going to clutch that round out as they're going to win this one in round 11 and now going to be up in this series, Paradox, 2-0.
That's absolutely beautiful use of the active camo. Once, as you said in that last series, right, when we were talking about search and destroy, if you're left, it's a 2v1. Stick together.
Yep.
Don't split up, right? Because then the numbers are in your favor. A game of trades at the end of the day, and when you have an impact payload like active camo, you can guarantee a round in your favor, and in this case, that round secured the game.
Indeed it did, man. I thought PinkRockstars had it. I mean, it was all in their favor. They used the bombardment, but, man, that play at the end, I definitely want to see a highlight of that one happen in the future as well. But just huge overall plays when it came down, obviously, to the guys on Earthroot Gaming, as they're now going to be up 2-0, but it really should be 1-1. Question is, does PinkRockstars, do they take the tilt factor, or do they come into this next game at number 3 firing or not? That is going to be the question. Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Will Earthroot Gaming close this one out in a 3-0 fashion, or will PinkRockstars rock their way to winning an uplink? I had to throw that in there at some point. But, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. More action live from Sudbury. Welcome back, everyone, to UMG Sudbury 2017. Of course, it is myself, Lando, in the studio. Got Paradox with me from home. Paradox, we're currently in the middle of a series going on between Earthroot Gaming and PinkRockstar. We've seen some good moments from them. They ended up forcing a round 11 in that search and destroy, but couldn't close it out. It was the side of ERG who walked away with that clutch victory. And now we head into this next uplink on Throwback. Kind of questioning ourselves in some cases. Can the side of PinkRockstar, can they turn up when it comes down to a respawn is the question. And I want to know if you think that they might have the answer to that.
I feel like you give them a good map here. It's an uplink on Throwback. This is a team that likes to play fast pace, sort of balls to the wall, right? They want to get things going. But right now, I don't know. This is 2 maps in a row. We've seen really good starts from PinkRockstar. Standout starts. Fantastic starts. Looks like everything's going good. Somewhere in that mid game and into the late game, things fall apart for this team, and Earthroot turn up to another level. I'm already having flashbacks to that round 10. It hasn't been too long since that 1v3 happened. You cannot let those situations come back to hurt you. You cannot leave an opening for Earthroot to capitalize. But for PinkRockstar, I'm seeing way too many holes in the defense right now. Hopefully they turn this around in map 3.
For sure, and we'll obviously see what they can try and provide. We continue to see the close quarter weapons for the side of PinkRockstar. Earthroot Gaming, of course, rocking more K-bars and MV4s, rather. PinkRockstar rocking with the E-Rads. Earthroot Gaming with the long-range gunfights. Looks like still going to see how the early engagements do start off, as 3 do fall early on for the side of PinkRockstar. Drone already grabbed, and it looks like Priz going to have opportunity to maybe try to grab that one as well, but he's quickly dropped that early offensive hit is not going to work out. So some early aggressiveness coming out from the side of Earthroot, but it is a nice defensive response there from the side of PinkRockstar.
Good job to break through the 50-yard line, and Earthroot looks like they're going to be back at it again, prioritizing Train Plat and the bike path. One ends up going down. That's Paiza. Meanwhile, mid-map, Bristol able to pick up another. Now, look at this. Really good play for them. They're just going to grab the drone, advance that a couple of yards. They really need to focus on slaying out in this position. It's something that they weren't able to do on this first offensive push. Looks like the second one's going to go the same way unless they make a miracle play. And with that reset coming in, got to wait a couple seconds, so this drone's back and up for grabs.
TBD drone back toward the center of the map. We'll see if PinkRockstar can finally get an offensive move forward, but Heiza is quick to respond with 2 nice kills. Chad and Bed trying to do their best. Chad actually finding 2, drone pushed down, and now Shots is left to try and make something happen. But the continuous aggressiveness coming in from the side of Earthroot Gaming, but the continued defensive response coming in from the side of PinkRockstar. Finally, they have picked up the drone, and they're making their way right now through this bike path side. Little does Hawk know, though, he's got a lot of enemies just on the other side of him. He has to be careful where he actually tosses that drone down, because if he does have that one close to the other side, it could have spelled bad news for his team. But thankfully, the kills go in their favor. Tosses that drone down and is able to make somewhat of an impact, maybe receiving some shots from behind. Not exactly sure where those shots are coming from. That's actually going to spell bad news for them. So I think that was actually a shot coming in from his teammate. I think Hawk actually ends up turning back around, and that's now going to be an offensive movement here from the side of Earthroot, making their way up toward bowling.
Oh, man. Can't believe what's going on right now. For PinkRockstar, they need to, in some of these situations, slow it down a little bit. Look at how they're doing in their base. It's really good. Patient plays, separating players, taking them out one by one, making sure they have control. Something ends up leaving that sort of strategy when they're on their own offensive push. It's just not working for them right now, but looking at what they're doing so far, great job. You're getting production out of almost everyone. Of course, Bed starting to drop down a little bit. Joan picked up from Crystal. Looks like we're going to have our first point of the game, but no, throws it over the concession stand and ends up missing. You have 3 players for PinkRockstar there to get the easy reset.
And that's a toss that you're going to most likely be thinking about through the rest of this game is, of course, throwback. Not a map that you're going to see quite a few scores happen on is Remark and Shots responding for 3 kills, Bed the last alive, but maybe they can try to get this 1-point toss through. Priz having a lot of teamwork in his favor as they're going to be able to get this one forward, but this could be this spawn shot that we talked about that can come through field side. Heise ends up dropping in a big power position. Remark and the boys still here as they're going to find 3 more kills. Bed still in his base trying to shut down this player inside, but no, he'll also drop. Remark now with the 1-point toss. Can they get this one off? But no, he wants the 2-point play. Teammate able to distract. That was Shots, and Remark comes in with a nice 2-point dunk. So a little bit of a potential spawn trap that we end up seeing worked out for the side of Earthroot. But like we said, we talked about that 1-point toss miss. We'll see if that comes in to bite them or not. Not sure if it will at this point, but still now a 2-possession lead with just under 1:30 remaining in this first half.
Shots and Bristol, key instruments in that last score right there, but let's see what both teams have now. Still 4-0, 2 possessions separating both of these teams. Hides is going to be your closest one over towards the satellite drone. 2 players coming straight through the underpass, able to take out one, and this is going to give her through a little bit of breathing room mid-map, but Lurid's looking to try and close that gap and do it fast. There you go. Lead Slayer so far, almost throughout sort of this entire series, been a standout performer, ends up dropping a little bit in map too, but definitely getting it done in the numbers department. Close it up there with Hawk, but right now, PinkRockstar just can't advance the drone far enough. Sort of uplink can be a game of these opportunities. You think about a sport like hockey, and you think about baseball. The more swings, the more shots on goal, whatever it is, you want to make sure you have opportunities to score as many times as possible. That's what Earthroot's doing. They're getting in position to score, and they're making it count on the scoreboard. There's another 1-point toss up and in, extending the lead to 5.
A nice 1-point heave there coming in from Shot. A potential buzzer beater in some cases. It is a 5-0 advantage right now for the side of Earthroot. Priz ends up dropping just toward that right side near Bowling. Remark, Shot as well, trying to potentially stop this last offensive hit. Can Ben get this 1-point toss off? He's going to toss that one actually over instead of Pickett after dropping there to the nice bullets coming in there from Shot. And just like that, the time will expire after this first 5 minutes. Of course, another 5 left to go. And speaking of 5s, Earthroot up 5 of those to 0. Question for me, I know we were kind of talking about it throughout this, or already the portion of this first half, was that really good play when it comes into Earthroot Gaming. A lot of things that they did were kind of conventional team pushes. When it came down to PinkRockstar, though, it's almost like they were kind of getting a little bit too over anxious, kind of making these kind of like adding like one player on the drone to the player who's kind of carrying the drone was the guy in the front. They really didn't have a whole lot of teamwork when it came down to their group plays. So I think if they can kind of turn things around like that, obviously it is a 5-0 lead. It's only a 3-possession advantage right now. But have they get maybe some of that teamwork moving forward for them, they could easily be back in this game, I feel like.
No, I feel like that too. It couldn't have said it better myself. It just seems like the communication, I don't know what it is. Maybe the timing is a little bit off for this team. Even there, you see Lurid ends up getting juked out by Heise, goes up and around him, takes him out, and now you have a 4v1 essentially on the map. Good thing for PinkRockstar is they have Chad pretty much set up in top restaurant to prevent things getting too far out of hand, neutralizes the push, and now we're going to see the first offensive push of the second half from PinkRockstar.
We'll see if they can try to make somewhat of an impact inside of the Earthroot Gaming setup. Nice shots coming in there from Lurid, trying to stop that one from happening, but a clutch play actually coming in from Remark. He's going to grab that drone and tries to escape with it just out of his base, and it looks like he's going to be able to do that. So props to the side of Earthroot getting the kills that they need to, and Remark hopping out of there and actually going to juke one player due to that delay on the mini-map, but he's going to go coast to coast, the rebound leading to the 2-point dunk. Beautiful play there coming in from Remark, as that's now going to be Earthroot up 7 points to 0.
You're going to have Lurid, the first player towards the middle of the map, needs to be able to do a solo hold here on the train platform if PinkRockstar want to have any sort of hope into working their way back into this game. Starts it with one. Second one around Lemon. One shot, cleans it up. But here we go again. Earthroot somehow just sneak through, slightly grab the drone, and start playing a little bit of keep away. Now it's finally coming towards the other side. You have players coming off a respawn, but it's going to be in the hands of Ben, who just stands there, tries to wait out the defense, barely gets the 1-point toss up and in. Still a 6-point difference between both of these teams. And there you go. You're giving up a 3-piece like that to Shots. That's 4 in a row. Has the active camo, 50 off of a Trinity rocket. You cannot let him snowball this game even more. And there you go. Oh, my.
as much as I want to switch on the board with someone else, they're actually going to give that drone a shot, and obviously for good use. Actually, FTL jump gets rocked in some cases there from Lurid. He's going to be able to stop that push for the time being. That drone does get reset, but definitely a major difference maker in this map has without question been shots play. 29 and 16, of course, has at least 1 point, and definitely could be getting actually 2 more of those if he does use the active camo right. Really, just outside of Grandma's, decides to rock the active camo. 1 player in his way, and this is just how good active camo is able to make that player look so silly. Kind of dodges his way forward and is able to get the 1 point toss forward. Earthroot now up 8 points to 1. And if you're the set of PinkRockstar, it's almost do or die at this point. You got to get something going. They don't really have a whole lot of payloads left to work with. Thankfully, Bed is close to that overdrive. Hawk is close to the active camo as well, but they're still going to need to stop this offensive push from happening because it's starting to get less and less likely. Heiza coming from Grandma's is going to have the 3 teammates with them. They've completely taken over the base, as now they're going to be up 9 points with just under 2 minutes left.
And look how late that call for the overextension comes in from PinkRockstar. They had an opportunity to do a little bit earlier, didn't go for it, decided to completely flood their base. That led to points coming in from Earthroot. Now looks like they want to just try and make some sort of a desperate play. Lurid gets cut down outside of bowling. This is what I feared, right? Like, this is a map that was set up for PinkRockstar to come through and win, but we didn't see that first half brilliance or really good play that we normally see from them. It's just been an Earthroot show pretty much the entire time. You've had solid defense from PinkRockstar in the first half, but you're getting nothing on the offensive side.
Not at all, and unfortunately for the side of PinkRockstar, it's starting to look less and less likely. Nails in the coffin, consolation kills. It seems it's all it's going to be at the moment toward the end of this game. Chad still trying to make somewhat of this push, trying to make something happen for his squad, but little do they have. They don't even have the drone to make this offensive push happen. That's kind of been the story for PinkRockstar, I feel like, throughout this entire uplink has just been the issue of teamwork, not really being able to maybe use that communication to the correct usage when it comes into uplink. Paradox, I know we talk about constantly, it's kind of like uplink is kind of like a combination of hardpoint, search, and destroy. It kind of takes the slang from hardpoint, but the level of communication from search and destroy, and it seems that PinkRockstar, well, they did look good in that search and destroy, it's just the slang is just not there for them, and it's not there for them when it comes down to these teamwork plays. And just as I start to say that, another push comes in. Thankfully, PinkRockstar can stop that one from happening, but to no avail. This one's going to go Earthroot's way, and they're going to 3-0.
And it's just like flashbacks of the first 30 seconds of this uplink. PinkRockstar get a solid stop on the defense, try to convert that over to the train platform to move forward with the drone, but they run into Earthroot. And without the reactive armor there, I mean, hey, that's still a crazy play. And that's some of the defense that we've seen from this team, not only in the hardpoint, but in this uplink as well, as 3 more kills will just end it there. And 10-1 is going to be your final score in Game 3. That's Earthroot taking the series with the sweep.
Earthroot, as well as myself and Paradox, saluting goodbye to the side of PinkRockstars. Thankfully, they're not out of this one just yet. They are still going to make their way down to the losers bracket, thankfully, there. But, of course, the final salutes coming in as we will see a 3-0 sweep coming out of the set of Earthroot Gaming. Of course, you can see some top performances there. Shots, 36 and 20. Thankfully, only had 2 throws, but regardless, he got things done when it came down to the slang. Didn't really need to do a whole lot when it came down to that objective work. But Paradox, really when it kind of came down to the series, it was complete dominance really when it came down to the respawns. Only response that we saw from PinkRockstars came in that search and destroy, and had they clutched up in that round 11, had that bombardment worked out, we'd be talking about this next hardpoint coming up. Yeah,
we would. That's sort of the opportunity cost, right? Like, you put so much into a round, you need to make sure, as I said, like before, I think I said you need to make sure you're getting your bang for your buck, right? They didn't do that in the search and destroy. You had so much utility in that game, and it ends up slipping through them with, honestly, plays that shouldn't have happened, right? So in this sort of situation, you need to put that behind you. Go into that losers bracket. This is a talented team with talented players. They need to be able to bounce back and fight their way into the final stages of this tournament.
For sure, and of course we need to talk about too, Bed having a fantastic performance, especially in that last search and destroy. Yeah. Coming into this uplink, 17 and 31 for him. So definitely kind of going back to the drawing board as PinkRockstars need to work on their respawns. But like I said, we'll see how they do when it comes down to that losers bracket. Guys, do not fret. More Call of Duty action left to come here, and day number 1 here at UMG Sudbury. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.